Our two favorite teams.
That's it. Well, at least you have a respectable conference.
Is that right?
Yeah, let's put it this way, the San Diego State Jackrabbits are not top of the line, mate.
Are we, yeah, we're live. Yeah,
Right there. We are live, my friend. Shake it up. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been very much a long time coming to get back into the studio here. We've been away for a couple weeks. I had some little bit of a health issue.
A little bit of health issue. You died for a couple minutes.
It was terrible, man. It was really, really a rough stretch. If anybody else out there had whatever stomach thing was going around, I sympathize with you. It was. I know you were down with it, right?
I had the flu.
Yeah, we were both down and out for a little bit. But anyway, it is nice to be back here at Metrics and Mayhem, broadcasting live in beautiful West Deptford, New Jersey. Episode 16 and our final episode of 2017. With me, as always, my good man over here, Dominic Melchior III. Dom, what do you got going on today?
My man, Mr. Metrics, how you doing?
I am doing much better, man. It's good to be here.
Yeah, put it there.
Very much. You know, when you walked in today and you showed off your jersey over there, I have to say, if we were being honest, I'm thinking to myself, where did you get a Kevin Cobb jersey at?
Oh,
at this
no,
time
no,
of the
no.
year? But this is not a Kevin Cobb jersey, ladies and gentlemen.
This is my favorite kicker of the moment.
And which kicker is that?
Mr. Jake. Now, for all my friends at home, but we get a little crude here, but we call him Mr. Big Dick. Jake Big Dick Elliott. That's his name. Enjoy it, everybody. Jake Big Dick Elliott, right here on my chest.
Is that right? Okay, you got Big Dick on your chest.
I got Big Dick all up on my chest.
So what's with the nickname Big Dick? Can you get into that for us?
It came after the 61-yard field goal,
Uh-huh.
and it was just we were watching it, a couple buddies, and he kicks a 61-yard field goal, and we said to ourselves, you got to have just a big dick to kick that ball as a rookie.
Something like that.
Yeah. And he just kept making field goal after field goal. He kept making 50-yarder after 50-yarder. And the name just took off. So Jake Big Dick Elliott.
Big Dick Elliott. Were you thinking about getting that personalized on the back there instead of just Elliott? Any thoughts about that?
Well, I sent him like an autographed picture of me and you. I said, to Big Dick. Let me know if this is okay.
Yeah, right.
Get it done. So
that's tremendous. Well, it's good that Big Dick is on the body, man.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
It's the only big dick on this body.
I understand that very much, man. 250 pounds of dynamite with a quarter-inch fuse over
That's
here,
right?
But anyway, it is tremendous to be back. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on since we've been away.
We do. Certainly do.
And why don't we get right into it? Let's talk about our Philadelphia Eagles first. The last time we were talking about Eagles football, there was a lot of excitement in the air. Carson Wentz was leading our team.
He had two perfectly good working ACLs.
He had two perfectly good ACLs. The team had so much momentum going in. And then the Rams came along, and Carson was out there for a few plays on a torn ACL. It didn't look bad. He threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah,
right?
Stay in there, Carson.
So
you're
just
good.
stay in, right?
You're
Keep
good.
in the pocket. But there's a little bit of Negadelphia happening right now, and you're hearing a lot of. You should be happy with 13-2. You
Why?
should be. Well, I mean, this is what we're hearing.
Yeah.
So, where right now do you stand on our Philadelphia Eagles moving forward in the NFL playoffs in 2017? Let's hear it.
Man, that was a bad West Coast trip.
It was a terrible West Coast trip. So, led off by you out in Seattle.
I think it may have been me. I may have jinxed the Eagles.
I don't know about that.
I go out to the West Coast, and they start their losing streak, and they lose their quarterback.
But, like we talked about before, we saw Russell Wilson come in and just tear that team apart, and we were not prepared.
I said they would do.
You did say that.
I said the only way the Eagles win this game is if they actually get to Russell Wilson.
Okay.
And if they don't get to Russell Wilson, they're going to get shredded because that secondary stinks.
So then let's talk about Jared Goff, because Goff puts up, 35?
He put up a ton, but he didn't do it. They got a special teams touchdown.
Okay.
We had a couple turnovers in their side of the field. So if you give Jared Goff, Jared Goff had a good game, don't get me wrong, but he didn't have...
He's had a surprisingly good season, too. We didn't expect this coming.
No, we did not expect this. That game was a lot closer than I thought it was.
Okay.
I thought the Eagles kind of gift-wrapped them at least 14 points.
Okay. But even still, how much of, let's just to talk to Goff for a second, how much of that do you think is coaching? You got to say that Sean McVay is in for Coach of the Year, right?
It's him and Peterson.
It got to be him and Dougie Pitt.
Got him and Peterson.
But can coaching really make that much of a difference for a professional athlete?
Just look, it's. I don't think coaching really has an impact on getting the most out of your your team.
Okay.
These guys are motivated already. They're professionals. They're motivated by stats to get their
Get
paychecks,
bonuses, sure.
to get their bonuses. So, unless you're a team that stinks and you don't want to get hurt for the following season, like you see a lot of those Giants defenders
Yes.
doing, it really comes down to how innovative you are as a coach. And if we have an innovative young coach like McVay is, those players are going to get up for you.
And like Dougie P is.
And like Dougie P is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like Sean McVay he's taking a bunch of guys his age. And we're gonna have a little fun here. We're not gonna do the old power eye offense like Jeff Fisher did, who's the quarterback killer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just look at the season Goff and Gurley
Yeah,
have
especially
had
Gurley.
under McVay.
But this is a team that coming into the season was expected to win. Their win total was 5.5 games.
Yeah.
And now they are up. They're 11-4 right now. They win their division. We did talk about Wade Phillips at the beginning of the year being a defensive mastermind over there, and that would help things. But this team has just blown up, man. It's unbelievable. And that's the team that I do not want to see in the playoffs because they can run the ball and they can play defense. And when you're going on the road, right, we've talked about it
Defense
before.
travels.
Defense travels,
Yep.
and that team has a tremendous defense. They have a great coach. That's a team that I really don't want to see. I don't think the Eagles are equipped to beat that team in a revenge spot.
Not now, because we don't have the firepower to go shot for shot with them.
Mm-hmm.
We did before.
Do we have the firepower to go shot for shot with anyone?
Yeah, we do in the NFC. You're talking about.
Let's talk. Yeah, let's just talk.
Let's
in the
just
NFC.
go NFC. I think if we played the Vikings,
Okay.
it would be like the game we just saw.
Okay.
I don't think Case Keenum's going to come to Philly in the NFC title game and carve up the Eagles defense.
No, I don't see that either. And Keenum didn't look great in Green Bay, but that defense he doesn't have to. The defense that they have.
There's two teams out there that really scare me.
Okay.
And it's the Rams, and it's the Saints.
Okay.
It's because, like you said, defense travels, and if you got now, Drew Brees is the best quarterback in the NFC.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I think I have to
playing
agree with
right
that.
now.
Playing right now? Yeah, I would say he's
the best quarterback
most
in the NFC.
consistent quarterback in the NFC.
And he's come to Philadelphia and beat us before.
Yes,
in
he
the
has.
playoffs.
Yes, he has.
In the playoffs.
On a Darren Sproles punt return.
On a Darren Sproles punt return.
But he did beat us, you're right.
He came in to Philly and kicked us in the dick.
I think that...
A Nick Foles-led team and kicked us in the dick.
Well, thankfully we got Big Dick on our team right now. So
now we got the dick.
But I think that whole notion of teams, because they're talking about who can come to Philadelphia, who can play in cold weather, who can't. We saw a Tampa Bay team come into the vet, a team that could not play in the cold. And I saw Warren Sapp run his fat ass out into the field with no shirt on. Cold didn't seem to bother them at all.
Nope.
Cold didn't seem to bother Joe Joravicius at all. Seemed to bother Levon Kirkland and Blade Bishop chasing after him.
Yeah.
But that whole notion of teams that can't play in the cold, that is absolute fugazi. These are, like you said,
These
professional
are professionals.
athletes.
These are professionals. The same elements are affecting both sides. I don't care what anybody says.
Totally agree. I have to agree with you that Minnesota is the team that if we want to see any of them, just for offensive firepower purposes, I think you're right. But if the playoffs were to end, or if the playoffs were to start right now, I know we still have a couple consolation games that are coming into play. Could switch a couple things out. In the NFC, right now, Atlanta holds the 6th seed at the moment. But Seattle is 9-6 as well. So a Seattle win and an Atlanta loss, and Seattle's in the playoffs, which gets Russell Wilson in there.
Yeah.
Which we have talked about before, not being particularly a fan of. But let's just call the playoffs as it would stand right now. Let's talk NFC first, just dealing with our Eagles right now. If the Falcons get in, they are the 6th seed, and they would head to, 12-3. They're going to head to... Well, the Rams and the Saints are both 11-4 right now.
The way it is, the Rams are the 3 seed right now.
Rams are the 3 right now.
It would be Atlanta versus the Rams, and then the Saints versus the Panthers.
Who are both 11-4 in the same division.
Saints and Panthers, whoever wins that plays us.
Yes, and that would be, hold on, whoever wins that would play us the Rams won.
Even if the Rams didn't win. That's the way the brackets work, unless they reseed.
They would reseed.
They reseed.
Yeah,
Is that how they do it?
That'll reseed. So the Eagles would play the lowest seeded winner coming in.
Yeah.
So let's just say we'll keep it right through. Saints would host the Panthers, and let's do that game first. Let's just roll with that right now.
Yeah.
So the Saints host Carolina. Who do you like in
Saints.
that game? You like the Saints to
I like
roll?
the Saints to
I like the Saints to
roll
roll in that one as well. I don't think that's even close.
No.
I think the Saints roll. And then the Rams right now would.
Although I'm not going to shit on Cam Newton, he's playing well right now.
He is playing well, but that Saints defense has
Yeah.
been on fire. And Kamara and Ingram.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Breeze.
and the Saints have a good defense for the first time in it seems like 25 years.
Yep.
So.
And then that would take either the Falcons or the Seahawks into Los Angeles. Not much of a home field advantage in Los Angeles.
No. Well, maybe now. I mean, maybe now that they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe all the bandwagoners are going to come out of the woodwork.
But I personally, I have no faith in Matt Ryan. I am not a Matt Ryan believer at all.
Not this year. No, he's regressed.
So if the Falcons do get in, I think they get rolled in LA. I think Gurley is just playing lights out. Got to be an MVP right now.
I think he's got it.
He's got. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's
he's
any.
got it. I mean, who's the other guy in the NFC?
I mean,
oh wait, it's not. I keep switching up baseball and thinking the AL and NL MVP. They just do one MVP.
There's an NFL. I mean, they'll have conference MVPs as well, but for the overall league,
it's Gurley or Brady.
And
I think Gurley's going to get it.
Yeah, Gurley's been on fire.
It would have been Wentz. It would have been Wentz.
I agree.
But now it's Gurley.
Like we were talking about now, I think Wentz being out just proves how valuable he is.
He's Aaron Rodgers.
He is everything to this squad. And I agree with you. I think Carson would have also been the MVP of the league had he stayed healthy on those ACLs, but that didn't happen. So how about if Seattle were to get in? And I see a comment here from Jeff. No way they get past the Rams this year.
I agree.
Do you? I don't necessarily agree with that. Tell me why you don't think.
Seattle is a completely different team away from that place.
Away from home?
Away from home. And I think that Seattle's defense is in shambles right now.
Okay.
And that defense stops a lot of people at home. And I don't think Seattle going into somewhere else can stop the offensive firepower of the Rams. I just don't think they can.
I think that they can. And I think that something with Seattle that's going to be fun to watch is that experience healing some of those wounds on the back end of things. We've seen Pete Carroll coach in the playoffs. We know the history of this team. I know that they're getting one day older every day. But I do think that a Jared Goff in the playoffs doesn't give me the confidence that that defense would at 80%. Yeah. So I think and especially with Magic Man Russell Wilson running around back there, I'll put it this way. Let me give you this. Give me a line on the Rams-Seahawks. Where does that game open up at? Where do you put that at? Rams at home.
Rams at home against Seahawks. Rams -3.
-3.
Yeah, Rams -3. Isn't that the prototypical line for a home game?
Yeah, home team's going to get 3 points.
-3 is essentially like a pick.
I totally agree. So you don't put it at 2.5, 3.5.
No,
you come right out
I
of 3.
say it's -3.
And give me a total on that game. I'm going to make you work here on the spot.
49.
49. Whoa, it's a shootout.
Yeah.
I love it. I would take the under on that one. What about Breeze? Should be in the conversation.
Yeah, Breeze had a great year, for sure. But I mean, it's Brady or Gurley.
It is. I totally agree. Kamara and Ingram also huge components of that offense. I mean, you look at what Carson was doing. He was doing that all by himself, and Gurley as well. I mean, Goff's having a decent year, but Gurley's success is definitely.
Do you think that some of the writers give it to Wentz anyway?
Let's put it this way. I don't know how you can make that argument to give it to Wentz, given what Brady has done and given what Gurley has done. If you only have to pick one, I can't see.
But, I mean, like, Wentz for, 14 weeks, 13 weeks? He was the best player.
He was.
Just because he didn't finish the last 3 games doesn't mean that he wasn't the best player all year long.
Yes, he was. In those 13 weeks, he was better than every player in the league.
And it wasn't close. He carried.
He did. He carried a 13 but they were 11-2 at the time, right? So he carried an 11-2 team. I can't argue that. But if his success stops right there in these weeks where your team needs you the most, Gurley and Brady have surpassed his success in those 13 games because of their longevity through the year.
So 2 games is going to wipe out.
2 games that the Eagles won.
Yeah.
That the Eagles won. Yes, I think that because Brady and Gurley have sustained throughout the season, their value is catching up and has surpassed what Carson Wentz has done.
Even if Gurley doesn't play this week. That's another thing. You want to talk about games like Gurley will not play this week.
Well, this game could have, let's see, couldn't this have implications?
Not for the Rams.
It has no implication.
Not for the Rams, no. So Gurley's not going to play. And probably Brady's not going to play.
You think they sit Brady? That's interesting. I don't know. But to answer your question, no. I think that's a different scenario. Because I think if the Eagles were in this spot, they would be resting Wentz as well. And that argument would be
so, I mean, essentially, like, Gurley played 2 more games than Wentz.
Yeah.
That's it. Just 2 more games.
And the past
so
2
did Brady.
games, 150 yards rushing, 150 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. I mean, these are lights out games. So they're without a doubt what would set my vote anyway. If I had my vote, I'm voting.
It changes. Not playing this week changes a lot of it.
I still think that it's a quarterback award. As great as Gurley is, and he's a great player.
Well, then if it's a quarterback award, the last 2 weeks for Brady haven't been shit. I know because I had him in my fantasy league and he didn't do anything for me.
I'm aware of that.
He hasn't done shit for me. So the last 2 weeks have been crap for Brady. The first 13 weeks you put Brady against Wentz. Wentz is the better quarterback.
If New England loses Tom Brady, is that more tragic than the Eagles losing Carson Wentz? Let's say that
I don't think so.
Brady and Wentz go down the exact same minute of the exact same game with the exact same injury.
Yeah.
You think that's more devastating to the Eagles or the Patriots?
The Eagles.
Why?
Because so much of the offense runs through Wentz. You saw it.
Okay.
Like Wentz, so much of that offense was Wentz's creativity and Wentz's athletic ability.
Mm-hmm.
Brady, he is, at this point in his career, he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Great.
Greatest quarterback of all time. But at this point in his career, he is leading. You can see it. You can see it in his game. He is leaning on a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
He is leaning on the running backs. He is leaning on Gronk. I mean, you saw when Gronk went out?
Gronk, yep.
When Gronk went out, Brady looked like how Foles looked like this past week.
No, you're right. And that's a guy right there who will never be an MVP talk, and his presence on the field demands so much attention.
Yeah.
He is an MVP type player, but he's a tight end. He's never
They
going to get
lost
that
to the
award.
Dolphins.
They did lose to the
They
Dolphins.
lost to the Dolphins, and Brady looked like Foles.
And that's a fair argument on the Wentz side. I don't think we saw a game where Carson did not look completely in control. That Miami Dolphins game, they gave you the blueprint for how to beat New England.
Yeah.
Get
Take
everybody
Gronk
in the
away.
box, take Gronk away, get everybody in the box, and man those receivers up and get physical with those bastards. Because as soon as you play that Pittsburgh drop zone, you're not going to win. Brady's going to carve you up.
He's going to carve you up.
Without a doubt. So we saw that blueprint. I'm surprised that after that game that we didn't see it was the Pittsburgh game right after that. I can't believe we didn't see Pittsburgh get man-on-man on those receivers. They dropped back into that classic zone. And speaking of which, if we can go right into this, how about those Pittsburgh Steelers? You let go of James Harrison, and who does he sign with? Those New England Patriots. They had a picture up with Tom Brady. Now I got a teammate older than me finally.
I know.
Oh, my God. Tell me about what's going on in the locker room with that scenario right there.
It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
If James Harrison was still James Harrison, he would have never got released. They don't release players who contribute at all. They just don't. These are the NFL. They don't release good players.
So you're playing for the Boston Red Sox. You're the Red Sox catcher. You're Jake Parkman of the Red Sox. Right? They come
Jack Parkman.
Jack
Parkman.
Jack, damn it. So you're Parkman. Let's go with that way, right? And they come in and say, listen, Jack, thanks for everything. You've been traded, or you're being let go. And the Yankees offer you the deal. And you say, yeah, sure, I'll go play. You're telling me that when you go back to Fenway in the playoffs, that you don't have un Gats de Moxie to become Parkman of old?
I would want to, but that doesn't mean I am. I mean, I step on a basketball court today. I look at that rim, I'm like, I want to dunk that. Doesn't mean I'm gonna. Doesn't mean I'm gonna. I used to be able to hit rim, can't do it no more.
Yeah.
You know,
I understand.
Just because you want to do something doesn't mean you're physically able to do it.
But couldn't you say that there is going to be more incentive for James Harrison to be?
They picked him up for his knowledge. He picked him up for his knowledge of the Steelers and what they're going to do, and he's going to give it to him because he's getting paid. That's all that matters.
You think so?
Yeah, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I guarantee you, James Harrison really doesn't even play.
You don't think so? I'd be interested to see that.
I would put the over/under on this week coming up. The over/under of James Harrison playing in the game 5 snaps.
That little. That's interesting.
Yeah,
wow.
5 snaps, and then maybe 10 total snaps in the playoffs.
Okay, interesting. I can see that going a different way. I like the addition of Harrison. That's a team that needs a middle linebacker. I think his presence alone is going to inspire the players around him. I think I
think that may be why they wanted to pick him up too, as a veteran point. But
veteran
James Harrison, the player, isn't really going to help. It's not really going to matter.
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah. Why don't we get to Jeff's point over here that some of the Wentz votes might go to Case Keenum as an MVP candidate. Let me ask you, Dom. Where's Case Keenum go to school?
Where does Case go? Louisiana Tech.
Actually, not too far away, down the road in Houston. He was a Houston Cougar.
Nobody is going to vote for Case Keenum. No, I'm sorry, Jeff. I love you. Nobody who's going to be voting. I would be surprised if Case Keenum got a single goddamn vote. He's not going to get any votes.
You can't give him a vote over a Brady or a Gurley.
No.
Even a Wentz.
Even a Wentz. He's not going to get a vote. It's just not going to happen. I'll put a 6-pack of beer of Jeff's choice if Case Keenum gets one MVP
vote. Wow.
MVP vote.
And Mrs. Keenum is not a voter this year, so that's not necessarily. Let's see. He thinks that we're wrong. On paper, how do you not? What do you think about that one?
What's the best part about the Vikings team?
Best part of the Vikings team, well, I think we've talked about this earlier. Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick McKinnon, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Jerick McKinnon. Their defense.
Their defense is lights out.
Their defense is lights out. What's the best part of the Eagles? It would have been Wentz.
That would have been 11. Yeah, without a doubt.
What's the best part of the Patriots? Brady. What's the best part of the Rams? Gurley.
Mm-hmm. Identifiable, most valuable players without a doubt.
Giving a vote to Case Keenum is like giving a vote to Blake Bortles.
And all of those quarterbacks that are on the Vikings right now, I mean, they're interchangeable, I think. I mean, if you put Sammy Sleeve in there, Sammy Sleeve's going to do the same job that Keenum's doing. I think so Teddy Bridgewater's going to do the same job.
They got a conundrum up there, don't they? They got to figure out who they're going to keep, because I don't think they're going to keep Keenum. I think they're locked in with Bridgewater.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, man. I think that you could not have expected, if you're the Vikings, you could never have expected Keenum to have the success that he's having.
Case Keenum going to get paid.
And like in any business, you sell high and buy low, right? So if Keenum's stock is at its max right now, send him down to, Denver? Send him to the Giants, wherever he's at.
I think Case Keenum is going to be a Washington Redskin.
Washington Redskin? They get rid of Cousins?
I think they finally get rid of Cousins.
That's interesting.
I think they finally get rid of Cousins. I think Cousins probably becomes a backup. I don't see maybe Cousins goes to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to go to San Francisco anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how about that Jimmy Garoppolo? He has not lost a game yet.
No.
Stud threw a 40 spot on the Jacksonville Jaguars this past week too.
Jimmy J.
Why don't we get into a couple of articles that I printed out here that I'd like to get your you have no prep on these, so it's always fun to get right off the cuff with the metrics, or excuse me, with the mayhem over here. But federal agents seized cash from the Ron and Mike Eliminator Pool, which, if anybody's heard of this pool, there's these two guys, and the Eliminator Pool, it was $100 to get into the pool.
Okay.
And the total of the stake at the winners was over $2.5 million.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
And federal agents got wind of this. They seized all the documentation and the money that the pool organizers collected. If these guys that are running the pool, according to New York state law, if they don't take any cut of the winnings, then what they're doing is not illegal.
Yeah.
You are allowed to do that. However, if they do, which ESPN, which this article says is about 10% of the pot, they could be charged with bookmaking and profiting from a gambling activity. The pools were around. There were about 10,000 entries of about $100 an entry. Then you could rebuy in for $200 a piece if you wanted to, and then there was another rebuy in $500 an entry. So there's a lot of money.
A lot of money getting thrown around, yeah, for sure.
But this part down here got me. So they did everything they could to conceal the operation. Money to the pools was asked to be addressed to the Green River in Plainview, New York, a mortgage brokerage called Green River in Plainview, but neither man works there. The mailing address provided corresponds to a box inside of a UPS store. The federal government hopping in, taking $2.5 million. Imagine your frustrations had you still been alive in that pool.
Yeah, you're pissed.
You're pissed.
What are you going to do?
You can't do anything about it.
Can't do anything.
This, as they say, was the biggest shutdown since 2010 when a New Jersey school teacher. Oh, how about this?
Did you blow the whistle?
I did not.
You snitch?
I did not blow a whistle. This guy, John Bovary, he was running the same thing, $100 for an entry, had 8,000 entries, and he got arrested with promoting gambling and money laundering. But after 5.5 years, the case has not gone to trial yet, so he's in some sort of pre-trial intervention program about gambling. And check this out. The state still has the money. He's got $846,000 that they took from his bank account. $123,000 he claims was his life savings unrelated to the pool.
Unrelated. Sure.
Unrelated,
Sure.
right?
Absolutely.
And that is the public education system hard at work, people, right there. How about
It's not
that,
a bad
man?
gig.
Not a bad gig. 100 to get in. If you don't take any cheese off the top, you're totally cool.
So basically, we're telling Metrics and Mayhem are going to be starting their own eliminator pool next year. $100 a buy-in. Tell your friends we're not going to take 10%.
No, we'll take 15%.
Just we're not going to take anything off the top. 100% of the profits are going to go right to you. So
I love it.
tell your friends.
So there are... Our buddies are out there. These gamblers are out
Yeah.
there. They live in New Jersey. And speaking of...
Only in Jersey that shit would happen.
Only in New Jersey. But it turns out that it might not be a long amount of time before this whole gambling thing is legalized.
Woo!
So all this work they were doing behind closed doors, there was a court hearing. This happened on December 6th. I think this was the day of our last podcast, or if not right around there.
Yep.
But the New Jersey Supreme Court heard the petition to legalize sports gambling in the state. And right now, as it says, I won't read you the whole article, but to give you the brief of it, it's about 60-40 in favor of allowing sports gambling to happen right now.
This is the reason why we started the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We are degenerates with no money.
Yes.
We do not bet a shit ton. I throw a couple shekels here and there on a game, but we're degenerates with no money. So this is our platform to the rest of you degenerates. When this passes and this comes to fruition, I may be on the streets. I may be on the streets. I'm with you. Me and you were going to be under some cardboard.
Yes, that is possible.
Watching our ex-wives.
Yes.
And our
children.
And our children with their new men
who are not degenerates.
who are not degenerates.
They like hiking.
Yeah, they
They eat organic food.
oh, for sure.
Without
A
a
lot of kombucha. Yeah, it's good.
Kombucha.
Kombucha.
It's like Jake Parkman.
Kombucha. I get kombucha. It sounds like I'm from Long Island.
That's
hey,
right.
Let me get the kombucha. This is going to be the greatest thing that's happened in New Jersey since Bridgegate.
Nice.
Since Bridgegate.
I got to tell you, and it doesn't. I mean, it might affect us a little bit. I mean, we have avenues to travel if we want to go down
Sure.
that route. You know, we have that set up. But I just can't wait to be down in Borgata, just watching it all happen live.
I may try to get my old job back.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
I'm gonna call up all my friends that still work down there. I'd be like, listen, Daddy's coming home.
Yes.
So, save me a seat.
Big dick, right?
Big dick.
Big dick. But yeah, that is without a doubt. I cannot wait to be in Borgata the day the sports books approve it. They get open. I just want to be a fly on the wall down there and just see all the schmutz come out and find
how
our
many
people.
old men with like green sweatpants
Oh my God.
and the starter jackets are you going to see?
Oh, the starter jacket.
Green sweatpants
With the chain.
and the starter jackets with the newspaper crumbled up into like 4 different like bends.
I can't wait.
And just like they're doing this, just doing the.
I love it.
Just doing that the entire time.
Yeah.
You know exactly the guy I'm talking about with the glasses on the chain.
The detached ones and then they come together?
No. The glasses on the chain, and then they'll put them on, they'll look at the paper, take them off, and then just slam the paper down. That guy.
He's going to the head.
Yeah, that guy. My uncle, probably every family member I got.
And then go to the ones who no limit table, go all in and get it all back, and then
get
back to work.
Do it back again.
I just can't wait to see that.
It's going to be fantastic. I would say 2019 is probably when we're going to see it.
Yeah, that's what it's looking at right now.
So,
so that is going to be very exciting. While we're on the subject of that, how about college football? I know this isn't necessarily an area that you are extremely passionate about, but we do have the college football playoffs coming up right now. And the difference, or I should say the side right now, Alabama-Clemson is the most bet game at this point. And they think that this might be the most bet game, college football game in history. Not even more so than what would be the championship game right now. So Alabama opened up as a 1-point favorite. I think they're up to 2.5 right now. But they said that the amount of tickets that have been spent on either side, exactly the same, 8 times more money has come in on Alabama than Clemson.
Oh, that means I'm throwing a whole bunch of money on Clemson.
So it sounds like the public is on the side of Clemson, and the sharp guys, who would call them the big time money, find that the Crimson Tide are the side on this one. So without much, I guess, interest on your side, your thoughts on the college football playoff with Clemson and Alabama, which should prove to be a great game.
I think Clemson wins again.
You think Clemson
I
wins
think
again?
Clemson wins again. I think Alabama just doesn't have it this year.
Is that right?
They don't have a good enough quarterback.
Very
And I know Alabama never really does have a good quarterback. They are strictly a defensive and running game,
Okay.
which they really should be in the Big 12.
And this is
Alabama's built for the Big 12.
This is
You run the ball, you pass the ball, you punt, you run the ball, you score.
This is a big spot though, a good revenge spot too for Alabama as well.
Yeah.
They are up to a 3-point favorite as we're looking right now. Over under at 47, so that's putting it at 26, 23, right? Or no, 20? Yeah, about 26, 23, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, opened up as a pick'em, and Alabama up to a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I don't see Alabama shouldn't have got into the goddamn playoff.
Yeah, that's
So I don't think
very
they're
much
good.
debatable. Tough to turn a one-loss SEC team out. I think the history of the program, Alabama gets them in. No Big Ten team in this year as Georgia and Oklahoma get in.
Yep.
Georgia right now, again, another one opened up as a pick. Georgia becomes a 2.5-point favorite over Baker Mayfield. Heisman winning Baker Mayfield.
Love Baker Mayfield.
And
Absolutely love Baker.
what do you love
Mayfield.
about Baker Mayfield?
His moxie.
Is that
The
right?
kid's got spunk.
So he's going to need to wear heels in the NFL.
Yeah.
At 6 foot. I don't know if he's going to get over the front row of those.
I'm sorry, is that a problem for Russell Wilson or Drew Brees?
You're saying that Baker Mayfield's going to be Russell Wilson or Drew Brees?
I think he's going to be tall as them.
That's tall. Okay. Well,
yeah.
he's going to need a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
I think.
Doug Flutie.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're going to find some short quarterbacks.
How tall is Kurt Warner?
I have to ask Jen. She's got the life-size cutout
Okay,
upstairs that I
gotcha.
always have to stare at. But
Yeah, I love Baker Mayfield.
okay.
I love his game. They're winning.
You like Oklahoma?
I
to win this
love
game.
Oklahoma to win this game and win the whole thing.
I'll tell you, I am curious to see how he plays. Georgia's defense has been nasty all
Yeah.
year. So if Baker Mayfield can carve them up, that would definitely impress me. I think both of these teams aren't in the same class as Alabama or Clemson, but nonetheless interested in watching both of those games. But we can tell you that there is some big-time money coming in on Alabama to take out Clemson, and they're up to a field goal favorite right now, which if you're going to get in, might as well take Clemson in the 3.
I'm taking
at this
Clemson.
point. If you could get them earlier. I'm going to skip over this one, and why don't we do a quick talk in baseball real quick, because spring training is almost here. Pitchers and catchers coming up soon. Issue that you certainly love. But the Dodgers come out as 5-1 favorites to win the World Series next year,
Now,
even though your Houston Astros are your World Series
I
champions.
think this came out prior. When did this come out?
This came out early. I mean, this is the first odds that came out.
This came out. These odds came out prior to the Giancarlo
The
Stanton
Stanton
trade.
signing. Yes, they did.
So I would think that the Dodgers are no longer 5-1 odds. I would say that the Yankees are probably the favorites.
So I printed this out and have this here for a reason. The Yankees, before the Stanton signing, open up as 8-1 favorites to win the World Series championship. That number, we say, comes up quite a bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Giancarlo Stanton is probably top 3 players in the league over the last 5-6 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see where their win total comes out, too. But another power-hitting right-hander for the Yankees, without a doubt, with he and Aaron
In a
Judge.
shoebox,
Yeah.
stadium.
Well, and I love that thing. I saw the cartoon of Fenway, where it's putting his statue on the top of the Green Monster.
That actually he hits a lot of line drives.
Uh-huh.
A lot of line drive home runs that he crushes them. But he may put a hole through the wall.
Yeah, he's
But
something
he
else.
doesn't hit a lot of high towering bombs the way Judge does.
So if you're Girardi,
Yeah.
how do you massage that lineup? Does Judge play the field and Stanton DHs, vice versa?
No, I think Stanton's a better athlete than Judge.
Okay.
I think they're both going to play the field. I mean,
So who moved? Do you think you put Judge in left?
oh man, it's going to be probably the slowest outfield in baseball. It's going to be the slow.
Who's playing first base? Is Bird their starting first baseman?
Yeah.
Greg Bird?
Yeah.
So, you can't get Bird out of the lineup, can you? Can you move one of those guys to first?
Who's the DH?
Who was their DH last year? Jeff's on right now, so he might
Jeff,
have
tell us who the Yankees DH was. But I personally, I would move Judge. I put Judge at DH.
You would DH
I would
Judge
DH
and play
Judge.
Stanton in the field.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
It
interesting.
doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Sanchez.
Oh, Gary, no, he was their catcher, wasn't he?
Yeah, Gary Sanchez was the catcher.
Yeah. Oh no, maybe Sanchez was DHing because they had somebody. No, I think Jeff's right. Yeah, Gary Sanchez. But even still, there's a lot of firepower in that in that bat, and I think that's something to set up for an under on win totals. I think there's all this positive stuff happening right now for the Yankees. I think you might get an overinflated number.
It's the AL East. It's the hardest division in baseball to win.
And they're still going to have to see a lot of Chris Sale.
See a lot of Chris Sale. They're going to see the Red Sox. They're going to see the Rays. The Orioles are no joke if they still have Machado.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Jays still hit. They can't pitch, but they can still hit.
Mm-hmm.
If it's set at 92, I'm taking the over.
92 is over. What about? Let me get up to like 98.5, 99.
I think they're going to with barring health. I mean, you have to take the under. You have to take the under because you don't suspect everybody's going to maintain their health.
I agree.
If they are all healthy throughout the year, that's a 100-win team.
Without a doubt.
That is a 100-win team, but they're not going to all stay
But that
healthy.
might be...
They're all too big to be healthy all year round.
Might be a good betting angle, though, because I think with that signing, you're going to get an overinflated number, and a lot of people are going to think, Stanton and Judge, pop. But I agree, the health thing is going to be... Because Stanton has not been healthy throughout his career either.
No.
He's definitely spent some time on the injured reserve as well, so something that, maybe we could... might be able to take an angle.
I may throw a couple shekels on the under if it's like 97, 98. But if it's like 92, I'm taking the over.
Yeah, we'll have to check out some win totals right now. I haven't seen those out yet. They might be out.
They're going to win the AL East. I'm sorry. They're going to win the AL East, and they're probably going to be prohibitive favorites to win the AL.
Red Sox signed... who was their manager? I'm blanking right now. The guy from the Mets, right?
Yeah, they signed Cora, Alex Cora.
Okay. And I think Farrell got a raw deal.
Farrell did get a raw deal, but you know what? If you lose the team a little bit, this is baseball. You gotta, this isn't the NFL where the only time you get fired is if you go like 4-12. You can get fired if you're a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get the absolute most, I think baseball is a little bit more cerebral than football. In my opinion, I think you may think like, just throw the ball fast and hit it, and then that's all it is. And like football, it's like, you got to zig, got to sag, there's all these. No. Baseball's a little bit more cerebral.
Mm-hmm. How your defense is set, how we're going to pitch these guys, how we're going to pitch around them. Absolutely. There's a lot happening there.
There's a shit ton happening. So,
Did Farrell sign yet? Is he signed anywhere? I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything at all.
I do think he's a good manager, though. I'd be curious to see if he lands a spot or enjoy some time off, man, because I'm sure that's a rough gig, man.
Take some time off, spend some time with the family. You got a World Series under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
Relax. That's what I would do.
I agree. All right, let's do this. As I talked about earlier on, this is our last episode of 2017. So, two questions that I had for you. Number one, what have we learned so far from starting this podcast up? What are some things that we learned from it? And then what would you say that the listeners of this can expect coming forward in 2018?
I want to hear what you have to say.
I think that something that I've learned is that it's very easy to talk about something, but hard to start something. And I think that something that was really good that we actually did was just got this thing up and running and starting it. Because then you can evolve from there. I think the toughest thing, you can try to make it as perfect as you want in the beginning, but it might not be about being perfect in the beginning.
No.
I think it's about getting it out there and then developing along the way, which I feel like we've done. I feel like the show has definitely come a long way from episode 1 in just 16 short episodes. Now, granted,
we've changed the room around. That's at least
a complete studio upgrade over here. Yeah. But no, that part is... that's one thing that I've learned, and I've also learned that it's challenging too. I thought that this was going to be a lot easier to come down and have stuff to debate and talk about, but it takes a lot of work. And I think about guys like Missinelli, who does this for a living. He comes up with 4 hours of content every day to talk about. It's work, and I think that when we listen to the radio, we take for granted like, I could talk about sports for 4 hours a day. But it's more work than I thought it was, in a good way.
And we talked for about an hour straight. There's no interruptions. There's no commercial breaks. There's no interaction really, unless we see somebody talking. It's usually Jeff. So like I said, there's really no interaction.
Yeah.
So I think if we did a radio show and we engaged callers and we had sponsors that I think we could do 3 hours.
I agree.
Because I don't think Missinelli has 4 hours of content. I think he has about 2 hours and 15 minutes of content.
Couple topics.
And the rest is filler.
Rest is all filler.
The rest is filler and entertainment.
One thing that I would like to see.
Jamokes like me calling in.
Absolutely. And he thrives on that stuff. He thrives on putting people down, and that's where I would agree a lot of the material comes from. And guests as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Barkley comes in. Barkley eats up 3 hours by himself.
He eats up a half an hour by himself. You just give him a couple hot things to talk about, and you're good.
Yep. But something I would, and that's something I would like to see coming forward in 2018, is having like a an audio Dropbox where you could call in,
Sure.
a quick little 30-second thing. Let's play it on the air and let's debate the topics. So I would like to see that happening, and then also getting our site up and running and using that to host.
Next
everything.
year we definitely will have the site up and running. This year I think we did a good job of just focusing on getting this going.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the interaction between me and you, bringing some topics and some content to the people.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, by the way, people.
Big Dick telling you that. Big Dick.
So I think that next year will be a little bit more interactive with the website. Maybe we'll have some sound drops. We'll get a little bit more technical next year. Which,
I agree.
I think if we tried to do that this year, we become inundated with all types of issues, and then we lose focus on what's really matters is the topic and the content.
The topic and the interaction with our listeners as well, which is something that we're looking to develop as we go through this. So, but yeah, that's what I see, man. I think it was great that we started it, and definitely something I'm excited about moving forward with.
Me too.
This is
going to be fun.
Stuff. All right, why don't we get into our contests?
Yes.
Let's do our Against the Spread, and let's do our DraftKings as well. So get those bad boys pulled up. And it is getting a little late in the year to join us for the Against the Spread challenge.
But you could beat Earl. I mean, I think he's won like 3 games all year.
You could definitely.
So you could beat him in one season.
It'll at least
1 week.
It'll get interesting. Let's put it that way. But yeah, the Metrics have not had a strong NFL season by any stretch of the imagination. So I will get us started first.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear what
so we get this out of the way. So auto fade can come into play here. But my 5 against the spread this week, closing out Week 17. I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to take the 15.5 points against Tom Terrific and the uninterested New England Patriots this week. I still think the Jets are going to play with a little bit of fighting power.
Sure.
And
they play hard all year.
They play hard. So I'll take 15.5 points against the uninterested Patriots. I'm going to take the New York Football Giants plus 3.5 points. I think that this is a team that still has the moxie to actually want to win games. And,
new coach,
new system.
They're playing. That has a lot to do with it. I don't think people realize. I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't think a lot of people realize that when you get a new coach, you're playing for next year.
Yes. They're playing for spots. This is a team that definitely is going to have their head on straight for this game.
Sure.
And a Redskin team at 7-8 that has nothing to play for on the road. I don't see it happening. So I'm going to take the 3.5 points and roll with the New York Football Giants. I'm going to take the Sham Newtons plus 3.5 points.
Ugh.
It's an interesting number against the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons need this game.
Yeah, they do.
I am a fan of playing on teams that need games, but that has burned me so much that I am going against the teams that need to win.
This is going to be the year. This is going to be the week that you actually get it, though.
Might be. We'll see.
Auto fade Phillips.
I'm going to take Auto fade Phillips, and there was one more that I had down here. The Seattle Seahawks need to win this week as well, which means I'm going to take the 8.5 points with the Arizona Cardinals in a game that I think Arizona will keep within a touchdown.
Okay.
But that's what I've got right there. Oh, and excuse me, one more. Give me the Jimmy Garoppolo's plus 2.5 points against the Rams, who have, again,
they got nothing to play for. Yeah, they got nothing to play for. That's a good call.
Jimmy Garoppolo's on that one. So those are my 5. Mayhem, why don't you take it over?
I didn't even catch that plus 2.5 against the Rams. Yeah, I may actually just bet that straight up.
Okay.
So I'm taking, this is going to be my week of slop.
Week goes slop.
It's Week 17. It's a slop week. I am taking the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
The 0-15 Cleveland Browns.
Outright.
Outright! To beat the Steelers at 12-3. See, now this is an interesting game because I actually think if the Steelers win this game and the Patriots lose,
then the Steelers get the 1 seed.
So this may be the worst game to play because the Steelers may play all their stars and mollywop them.
I love it.
But I got a feeling there's going to be some garbage points.
I got a feeling. I love it.
I got a feeling there's going to be some garbage points being scored.
Is this where that Josh Gordon goes off?
This might be. Josh Gordon's playing for a new contract.
So new bag of weed.
Yeah. So the Browns plus 13.5. I'm taking them. I'm also taking. I'm going to bear down for the first time all year. I'm taking the Chicago Mr. Trubisky's plus 12.5.
God bless you.
I don't think it matters for the Vikings. I mean, they could possibly lose that number 2 seeds if no, they can't. They can't really.
I don't know how the tiebreakers work.
Yeah, I think the Vikings they
would need a Carolina win, a New Orleans win, a Ram win, and a Viking loss, and then all the teams will be 12-4. So
Yeah.
I don't know how the tiebreaker will work out.
So I'm taking the Bears plus 12.5.
Mhm.
I'm also going to take the Jets. So I got
We're on board.
I got the Browns.
You're getting a lot of points this
I
week.
got the
there, cuz.
Bears. I got the Jets. Plus 15.5.
Oh.
Same reasons why you just. I'm also taking the Bengals
Oh.
going into Baltimore.
Lane's
My
up,
Ravens.
coach. Oh,
my
God.
Ravens. And I called the Ravens winning 10 games. They may win this game, but
Yeah, you did.
they're not going to cover. Plus 9.5.
Wow.
And then I'm going on the complete opposite side
Yeah.
of you. I'm taking the Seahawks because they are in
The
a
Russell Wilson's
must-win,
spot.
and it's home.
You know why it's hate? The biggest.
Who's the quarterback for the Cardinals right now?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Blaine? No, it's not Blaine Gabbert.
No,
It's,
not Drew Stanton, is it?
It might be Drew Stanton.
I don't know.
But whoever it is, they're not going into Seattle and doing anything in that stadium with a must-win game for the Seahawks. I was there. They're not winning.
The biggest beat I've ever taken in my life happened last year, week 17.
Okay.
I was behind, right? When this was actually, playing for, some money. And I played a teaser. I played a teaser with the Patriots and the Seahawks
Oof.
last year.
I think I played the same teaser.
Might have been. And the Patriots, they actually almost didn't cover. There was a fumble at like the 3, and they ran it back for a touchdown, so I got real lucky on that one.
Yeah.
I've got Seattle, who needs the game to get a home game in the playoffs, and they're playing the 2-13 49ers.
Okay.
It's a 9.5 point line. I tease it down to 2.5. I need the overwhelming favorite, Seattle Seahawks, to win by a field goal. And they lose outright to the 49ers, the Colin Kaepernicks at the end of the game. Boom. So this is going all the way back to last year's Week 17. This is complete Seahawk hate for Week 17.
That's fine.
I'm going all in on the Arizona Cardinals.
So those are my picks: the Browns, the Bears, the Jets, the Bengals. God, I want to throw up just saying that. And then the Seahawks.
That is tremendous stuff right there. Why don't we go to
DraftKings?
We'll go to DraftKings, and I'll tell you a quick story for this one. In my work fantasy football league, I think I told you this one. We were in a dead heat going into the finals. I was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
98.96 to 98.96. I have Nicky franchise, and my opponent has the Eagles defense.
Oh boy.
And the last play of the game.
The last play of the game.
Last play of the game cost me the
That
Super Bowl.
stinks.
Yes, it does. But an Eagles win is an Eagle win, which is really what it's all about.
Yes.
We can't let fantasy get in the way of the focus of our Eagles.
No, we
without
can't.
a doubt. Excuse me.
I'll go first. I'll go first with DraftKings.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
So I'm going to take my quarterback would be Mr. Russell Wilson
Oh,
because I'm obviously picking the Seahawks to win.
I understand.
They're
He
home.
was in my spot, and I took
Yeah.
him out.
So I'm taking Russell Wilson. My first running back is your boy,
Oh, Christian
McCaffrey.
That's right.
Taking Christian
White
McCaffrey,
chocolate.
white chocolate. Second running back, LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, that's a nice pick.
LaShawn McCoy's having a great year.
He is having a great
I
year.
mean, it's amazing. That
Yep.
guy's an ageless wonder.
Yep, that's true.
Next wide receiver, Martavius Bryant.
Yes. McCaffrey and McCoy. Okay.
Yeah, McCaffrey, McCoy, Martavius Bryant. They're going to throw somebody out in
Throw
Pittsburgh.
somebody, Yep.
Next wide receiver, Josh Doxson.
Oh, Redskins. Okay.
Redskins, yeah. He's quietly putting up
Yes, he is.
some numbers.
Where'd he go to school, Dom? I love doing this to you.
Oregon State.
Big 12.
Wisconsin.
No, he was a
Big 12, Michigan.
No, he was Big 12. So Baylor.
Baylor.
He was a Baylor boy.
I'm thinking, Big
You're
12.
thinking Big 10.
Big 10, yeah.
That's all right.
My wide receivers are. This is an all slop team for the
Go
wide
ahead.
receivers. So I got Bryant, Doxson, and now I'm going Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon, huh?
Taking Josh Gordon.
Interesting.
Tight end, I'm going to go with that Austin Hooper.
Hanging with Mr. Hooper.
Hanging with Mr. Hooper. My flex, I'm going with Mr. Funchess.
Oh, Dev.
Yeah,
Dev Nasty.
Dev Nasty. Mr. Funchess. And then my defense, go with the Seattle Seahawks
Oh.
at home against those hapless Arizona Cardinals.
Is that right?
So I got a solid squad. Nobody's going to catch the ball, but they're going to run and play defense.
I got a guy who's wearing a shirt that he shouldn't be wearing.
Is that right?
I got James Garoppolo wearing a Patriot t-shirt underneath down there.
There
but
it is.
Give me the Jimmy Garoppolos right now starting a quarterback for 6,700. I'm going to take your boy. If you're taking my boy, I'm going to take your boy. I'll
Who's
take that
that?
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
I'll take Melvin Gordon for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Melvin Gordon did well for me
At
this year.
74, yeah, he was a nice pick. And I'll take that Jordan Howard as well.
Oof.
5,800 on that one. Give me Mr. Weedbag Josh Gordon himself.
You're
I'm
taking-
on
you're-
board.
you're on
I
board.
have such hate. I feel it's slop, but I got to do it. Give me that Cooper Cup. This one goes out to you, Jeff.
Out to
Miato.
Jeff Cooper Cup.
Out to Cooper Cup. And I'll also take that Golden Taint.
Golden Tate.
That's right, 6,300. Hard-hitting Jason Witten shows up to work every day, as Bulldog
day.
would say.
Every day.
So
He may play another 6 years.
for 3,600, I'm willing to take that gamble. Another team that's just playing, Dom, San Francisco. They got some moxie happening right now. Carlos Hyde, 4,900, starting tailback.
Okay.
I'm on board with
A lot
that.
of screen passes, huh?
A lot of screen passes from Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo to Hyde. Okay.
And those Los Angeles Chargers against the Oakland Raiders, who couldn't care about anything at all now. That would be
Not
my
at all.
defense. Our DraftKings, is up on. I think it's on our Metrics and Mayhem page.
It's on Metrics and Mayhem.
So please feel free to join us. Completely free to do it. I do think next year we throw some shekels in on this. I think we do maybe. We started at the beginning of the year. We'll do like a one-time entry, maybe like a $20 like the suicide, or like maybe $100. We'll say maybe we take 10%.
Yep.
Just saying. But we put it on there, and then we do it through the whole year. All the points add up throughout, week to week, so that by the end of week 17, you're in it for the whole way, just a one-time entry fee. But I think we do something like that.
I would say maybe $10 a person.
Yeah.
$10 a person. You have to play every week, and whoever has the most points at the end of the year, you win.
Yep, I agree. And then you could do maybe some little, I don't know, a weekly pot or something like that. Top score of the week or something like that. But
you score 200 points, you get $5
exactly.
gift card. To
So
AutoZone.
That's all. AutoZone.
Shout out to the good people at AutoZone.
But yeah, we'll get that
sponsor,
happen. Future sponsor, Metrics Mayhem. Maybe we get a Sounds of the Island from Nick Rotundo as well playing. And I still see no hockey on the itinerary. For
I got one thing to say about hockey.
Good.
That's talking hockey.
There it is, everybody.
That is talking hockey.
I'm glad we got that in. That's great. So we did that. Some other things coming up in the woodwork right now. The South Jersey Poker League is starting next Wednesday, which is normally our podcast day.
It is normally our podcast day.
So as the playoffs come in and as we get in towards March Madness, we're still like to do the podcast. We'll keep that going. During the NFL season, it's great to do it week to week because we have that looking forward to. But it'll be a little bit spottier. I might throw a couple videos up on some college basketball stuff, but we will still get together in the off season. But we do have that coming up, and I got to get some odds out on winning the South Jersey Poker League. But we're up and running. Some thoughts about this upcoming season.
A lot of parity in the South Jersey Poker League. We've had a different winner, I think, the last 5 years.
Okay. And that's good for the league.
Maybe 4 years. 4 years. So, it's very good for the league. If you care about the league. I care personally about winning, so I don't really give a shit about any of you people in the league. I just want to win. So, it's terrible for me. Great for the league. Terrible for me. I hate all of you when it comes to the poker table.
I have to say, and I saw it again this morning because I went onto our Facebook page to get the schedule up there, that the Photoshop of you putting Mike's head on Tony's body, that's so fucking funny. Man.
I don't want to take another group picture. Like, we have a group picture. I'm not using it.
That's the best, man. It's so funny because the skin tone's all
fucked up.
That's the best.
It's almost like Mike was mad, and that's his color of his skin. Mike is usually mad. He's an angry man.
He's the angry man. Anybody out there who is interested in being on our sub list, we normally have some people who can't make our regular crew. So if anybody's listening and wants to be a part of the South Jersey Poker League, we can get you on our sub list. Just reach out to us, and we will get you information on that. And also, guys in the league, we need you to spread the word with that on your social media pages as well, so we have a good sub pool. That way we're not playing with 7 or 8 players. We have a full table of 10.
Yes.
So we get that happening. We also have our NBA Hoops Challenge going on, which you've been a little off the eight ball.
I'm not good at NBA.
Oh no, you're great.
So
you would have to pick games to be good.
I gotta pick games. You're right. I'm slacking.
Yeah,
I want to make an excuse. I got nothing.
Just like I slacked on the last 2 episodes, Dom has missed the last 8.
Last 8 games, but I'll pick 8 games in one day. You know what? For the next 2 days, give me all the unders.
All the unders. And that's the mayhem.
Give me all the unders. I'll go 5-3 and I'll be set.
So if anybody wants to get on to that, at the end of every month, we do give a Metrics and Mayhem prize pack away to the monthly winner. So, again, completely free to join. I take care of everything. But please feel free to hop in and join us, get in on some of the hoops action. You got to pick one team against the spread or an over-under every day. And I usually send you some messages just to make sure you're on top of that. So we can get that happening. We do have the Metrics are sending out their college hoops plays. College hoops season is going well so far. Tonight we have Marquette, which I just lost my sheet over there, so I'm not sure if Marquette +3 is happening right now. But that was one of the things we have going on. Our bowls are happening up, and I am falling over my bowels in the bowl season right now. 16-20 heading into today. You have to play a total and a side for every game. So 16 and 20 right now, so we need to make that happen. And heading out probably start this after the Super Bowl, but we're going to do a golf DraftKings.
Oh,
as well.
now you're talking about sports.
So we're going to get involved in golf. So any of our golf aficionados out there, you pick a team of 6 with a salary cap every week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice little thing to get you through on Thursday morning.
Is Tiger back?
Tiger is back.
Tiger is back.
Tiger is back, and that is talking golf.
That's talking golf.
there.
I mean, I'll talk golf all day long.
I know you will.
I mean, we got some John Rahm. We got some Ricky Fowler. We
John-
got some Justin Thomas.
Yeah, John
You
Rahm
know,
he's got a nice.
You know,
thing
we got
going.
Pat Perez, probably one of my favorite golfers.
Pat Perez.
You know,
what do you like about Pat Perez?
Because he's the new age like Angel Cabrera.
Is that right?
You know, he doesn't work out, doesn't give a shit, just goes out there, plays some golf, and that's it.
What do you think about that?
My dream threesome: John Daly, Angel Cabrera, and Pat Perez.
Wow, that's strong.
That's a strong three.
John,
and myself.
John Daly's. I mean, that's all you need right there.
Yeah.
That's Ella Fitzgerald. Huh. That's interesting.
That's my card.
John Daly would definitely get in my
John
foursome.
Daly, Angel Cabrera, Pat Perez. Those are the guys we may kill 2 cases of beer in that round.
I don't think I'm wild enough as a human being to hang out with Dustin Johnson. I think that dude's involved in some stuff that I don't think I would ever
Not
do.
anymore. Paulina calmed him down.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You want to be a Gretzky, you got to calm down.
Okay. So I'm not sure, but I see like that Jordy, Ricky Fowler.
Oh, Ricky Fowler, yeah, that's
Ricky's
the party.
probably wild,
That's a
right?
party group.
That's a
You
hang
know,
right there. That'd be fun.
Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, Justin Thomas seems pretty cool
Yeah,
too.
Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, and maybe Beef.
Beef.
Maybe Beef.
My boy Fat Pat,
My
man.
boy, yeah.
So and that'll be all good. But I think golf's in a good spot right now. And
I think golf's on the up. I
we-
mean, now Tiger's back, golf's on the up.
Now you are a much better golfer than I am, but I still love
Much
the
better.
sport. Yeah, much better.
Much better.
But as I was showing you, I just got this book, right? We're talking
Show
about
the
so
fans.
just got this from my wife, a great gift for Christmas. Gave me some great ideas, for trying to help out the podcast and everything. And one of the points that they brought up was, making sure that you keep yourself interesting and doing, getting involved in new hobbies, because the more interesting you are, the more you'll be to your listeners.
Absolutely.
And this year, I've decided that I'm going to make the dive back into golf. I'm going to get the pipes out. I'm going to try to up my game. That way, you can at least be somewhat competitive. And that is right. So I'm looking to devote 2018 back to the pipes.
Okay.
And I think because I love watching it, I love the DraftKings thing, but I got to get a better game happening. It's not going to work without practice.
No, not
But
at all.
2018, I'm calling it. This is the year that the metrics ups the golf game. So
Well, you better go get the swinging now.
doesn't matter. It's
We
not,
gotta fix that shanking. yours.
not about beating you. It's about.
I'm not talking about beating me. I'm talking about
Oh, no.
not shanking
because
it
I want you to know
off
where the frame's at.
off the tee.
It might take me 85 years.
It might.
I
But I like it.
So-
I like it.
But
Keep
that's the
golf
thought right
going.
now. I want to get the golf game back up. I think it's a great thing to be involved in. So that is my sports focus.
How about this? And I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe next year, at some point, we do a Metrics and Mayhem golf tournament.
Oh my goodness, I love it. We take 10% of the pot. And...
No.
Whoa.
A little
Whoa.
wink, a
Excuse
little
me.
wink. A Metrics and Mayhem golf tournament.
Uh-huh.
And for all our listeners out there, you can join in. We'll get a couple. We'll probably get try to get 10 foursomes.
So we do that. We have lunch, and then at lunch we do a podcast.
We do a
We do a
podcast.
live podcast, and we roll that in to the Metrics and Mayhem Poker Tournament.
Absolutely.
No limit hold'em going out into the night.
Why not?
We get. I think that
Why
could be a
not?
nice little summer event right there.
Yeah, and we do a golf tournament, we do the podcast, and then we do a no limit hold'em tournament. At the
Yes,
end.
absolutely. It's a no-brainer.
That
right?
sounds like 8 hours of degenerate
Oh.
behavior, and I couldn't be happier to do
South Dakota State
it.
Jackrabbits.
I couldn't be happier to do it, honey. I got to work that day.
That's
so,
right.
So yeah, it's gonna be on a Saturday.
That's
Probably
it.
I got to work that day.
All
But
right.
also, aside from the golf tournament, here at the Metrics and Mayhem, college basketball is obviously
Yes.
your bread and butter,
Yes.
your heart, your love, your mistress. I would say that your wife is your mistress, but college basketball is your love.
Yes.
We're obviously going to be doing a March Madness bracket
Yes.
for us and all the listeners out there.
We'll do-
So
Billy Davis check it. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, Bill. Thank you.
Oh,
Maybe you can
gosh.
buy me a jersey with Bitcoin if you can ever actually cash them out.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I would have gone with the next jersey size up too, but apparently they don't come in gorilla size.
That's it. And I got to get a shout out to Billy Davis on the podcast over here. So, he made a comment on one of her things. And Billy, I hopped on your page. I'm actually family friends with the Camararies. So I know Lauren, your girlfriend, from way back in the day, and CJ and Wes.
Knows her.
Not at all. But I was good friends with CJ and Wes and Nick Camarari, the dad. So I know the whole family, man, very much so. So that's a great crew to be involved with, man. Love the Camararies.
I'm going to comment right now. The guy who commented right above Bill, we have by far our farthest listener.
Whoa.
James Morrison, my boy, coming in from Auckland, New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Checking in, loves American sports. First time I met him, he asked me if I wanted a biscuit. I said, no, I don't eat biscuits, and it was a cookie. And it completely threw me off.
Is that right?
I thought we were going to get some chicken out.
Yeah, you got nothing.
It was maybe some gravy. No, it was a cookie, and he said, you want a biscuit?
Wow.
No, I'm good. I just had dinner. And he was offering me a cookie.
Your cookie. So where did you meet James Morrison from New Zealand?
I met James Morrison in 2004 in Boston, Massachusetts. He was dating a girl who was roommates with a good friend of mine, Joy. And I was up there visiting Joy. He was there visiting his girlfriend. And we went at it. We went out of town, baby.
Is
me
that
and
right?
Jimmy have been friends ever since.
Oh, is that right? One night on the town with you.
No, it was a couple nights.
Okay.
But big shout out to Jimmy Morrison.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Jimmy, thanks for checking in.
Checking in from Auckland, New Zealand. My boy.
That's so cool, man. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we got to spread the word out there.
Trying to get to New Zealand because
that's a hell of a flight.
It is a hell of a flight. I want to go to the southern peninsula of New Zealand. There's a place called Queensland. And apparently there's some good golfing out there.
Is that right?
It's golfing, like there's mountains all around, and there's there's white snow-capped mountains. You can golf there. It's beautiful.
Wow.
So I got to get out there, Jimmy. You got to take me out in Queensland. I believe it is New Zealand. It's not that death pit to the left.
Is that right?
It's not Australia where that whole entire fucking continent's trying to kill you.
Okay.
I think it's in the normal part of New Zealand.
Normal part of New Zealand. Well, that is awesome, man. And James, thanks for checking in. And Billy, same thing. Queenstown, there it is. He's checking in right now.
Queenstown, yeah.
Queenstown. Good golfing out there.
Good golfing out there. I'm going to show you. I got a picture. I'll pull it up. And I'll show it to the listeners out there. This right here. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
Look at this. This is golfing out in Queensland, New Zealand. Right there.
Yeah, that's awesome,
You see that?
man.
Snow caps. It's beautiful. Right there.
Oh, check it out, man. They live there. Queensland is where they lived.
My man,
Wow,
Bill Davis.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. Wow, very cool.
Maybe if he's tall enough to ride the ride, he can come back again.
That's very nice,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
You can buy me. Maybe they got bigger shirts out in Queensland.
Might be, yeah. We're not sure. I'm not sure if they.
Maybe if I get on the plane as heavy as I am, it will weigh the whole thing down. They take a couple more hours to get.
What do you think the policy is in New Zealand on Big Dick Elliott? You think they're okay with that shirt, or
they wouldn't know what the fuck this is?
They wouldn't know.
No,
But I think
maybe Jimmy would.
You would advertise it though.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
everybody, I'm Big Dick.
Hey, I'm Big Dick Elliott.
That's it. But that's how you make friends. You go out one night. Hey,
Hey.
it's Big Dick.
So yeah, me and Jimmy
Singing Toto Africa and school's out.
Absolutely.
That's it. Very well done. All right, brother. Well,
that's it for 2017. It was a good year.
Yeah, this was a good start. A lot of good things to come on the podcast for sure. But the fact that we just got it up and running is, without a doubt, the biggest thing happening right now. So, for 2017, for Metrics and Mayhem, Dominic Belchior III, I'm Earl Phillips. Everybody, Happy New Year.
See you in 2018, guys. I want to go to Queensland.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Queensland coming in from New Zealand. Man,
That is good work on you. That is. Yeah, that's
but
pretty
he's been trying to get me to come out there forever, and I mean, it's so far. It's so fucking far away.
Wow.
I'm gonna get there though.
That's awesome.
So.
Done. All set, brother. Good.
The green adds 20 pounds. Just thought of
It was
that.
pretty funny. Oh, and Jeff said I forgot to congratulate Bald Dog. He's right.
That's okay. We'll congratulate him in 2018.
I agree.